Another one of Ganghwa-do's important historical sites is where we are right now, Goryeogung, so the site of the palace of Goryeo. Obviously this is very old, so most of it's been restored from being ruins. But this is actually the site of a temporary palace built during the Mongol invasions of the 13th century. Because of the Mongol invasions, there was a fear that the capital of Joseon, which is now in modern-day North Korea, would be taken, and so they moved to this more defensible spot, which is Ganghwa-do, being an island. It's much more easily defendable, and so they built a temporary palace here for that 38-year Mongol period. Let's go check it out.
지금 보이시는 문은 숭평문입니다. 안타깝게도 현재의 숭평문은 고려 시대가 아니라 조선 시대에 지어졌어요. 이제는 고려 시대에 흔적도 없어졌어요.
예쁘다.
고려에 흔적은 없지만 그 자리를 지켰던 의미를 상상해보면서 떠나보겠습니다.
This was actually used during the Joseon period as a magistrate's office. So even though it's sort of fallen into disrepair over the years, it's been restored. So back in the Joseon period, but also now, more recently, they've restored it so we can enjoy it. Behind me is a library which stored many books related to the royal family in the Joseon era. But unfortunately, during the French disturbance of 1866, the French invaded Ganghwa-do and looted this library and burned it down. And then for 145 years, all of the contents was lost to obscurity. But only recently, in 2011, the contents of the library that still remain were returned to the Korean government following a G20 summit. See, it's hard to imagine, but you know, the Goryeo kings and queens lived here for some 40 years. Also, you can imagine they would have had military planning meetings and strategy and crisis meetings during the Mongol invasions right here at this site, which today you can't see anything because it's just been so long. But yeah, it's really amazing. So they used to use this bell, the bronze bell behind me, to announce the opening and closing of the Ganghwa Fortress, which I think we'll go and see in a minute. But this isn't the original. The original got like sort of in a state of disrepair, so that's now at the museum. This is a replica. So it can be here for a long time, I suppose. And here's another really old tree. In this area, there's a lot of really old trees, which is giving, they planted them a long time ago in the Goryeo area. Look at this one here. Oh, whoa, that's really cool. That's probably the coolest painting inside a fortress I've seen. This fortress was built during the Mongol invasions of Goryeo in the 13th century. At that time, Goryeo moved its capital here to Ganghwa to make it more defensible against the Mongols, and the Mongols actually never penetrated this fortress area. But in 1259, as part of a peace treaty between Goryeo and the Mongols ordered that this fortress be destroyed. And so it was. That also came with it peace with the Mongols. But it was rebuilt again in the Joseon era in the 18th century. Person. Changing of the guard. You can walk right along the stone wall here. Ooh, I've never seen like a yin and yang with a cross on it before, but that's Korea, isn't it? Wow. Look at this. It's a hanok it's a hanok church. I've never seen one of these before. Have you seen one before, honey? No. Oh, I think we should go and check out what it looks like inside. It was constructed in the year 1900. And yeah, obviously it's still an operational church, so let's go check it out. Like, yeah. Well, I've never seen a hanok church before. I like this kind of stone wall, like this kind of really, I'm going to say, organic looking stone. How did they get the stone like that? Like a lot of really strong men. 1, 2, 3, heave like this, isn't it? How did they get it like that? Oh, okay, so now I learn. Like a dolmen is a type of like old tomb from the Bronze Age. They found all over the world, it says, but 40,000 to 45,000 of them, which is 40% of the world's total, are found in Hanpando, in the Korean peninsula. Interesting. Okay, so I wonder why I hadn't really heard much about them until I moved to Korea. Even our house has some nearby. Yeah, so obviously the ancient Koreans, ancient? I think that's the wrong word. The Bronze Age Koreans were prolific in making these kinds of tombs to honour their dead. See, this stone behind me, it looks like nothing, but if you think about it, right, this is really like, what do you say, prehistoric? Maybe Neolithic, megalithic, and a megalithic example of engineering. So they've had to obviously quarry this stone, cut the stone, it's got evidence of being cut, and then they've moved it to where it needed to be. Another point of significance of these kinds of tombs is that it shows some sort of belief in spirituality or an afterlife. Because if you think about it, one of the reasons to bury your dead or to entomb them is because you believe that after death there's something else, or that there's some sort of significance in how someone is laid to rest. What that is, obviously, it's lost to history, but I think, yeah, there's a lot of significance in these kinds of remains all over Korea. And I think a lot of Koreans don't know much about it, partly because it's kind of hard to make this interesting, because it's so old. But yeah, I'd love to see how they managed this like engineering feat to put this together.